Chosen one. Listen carefully. This moment is not random, it is divine design. Heaven has silenced distractions so that you can receive what is being spoken right now. Deep down, you can feel it. Can't you? The trembling in your spirit, the pull in your chest. This is not anxiety. It is a signal from the throne room. Something sacred is unfolding, and it is set to manifest on Friday. You have walked through darkness that would have destroyed many. You've endured seasons of silence where it felt like even God was distant. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still chosen. Every storm you survived was not punishment, it was preparation. Every delay you experienced was not denial, it was divine strategy. Heaven has been preparing the stage for your revealing. You are not ordinary, and you know it. You've tried to blend in, but the world never truly accepted you because your calling carries a frequency that the world cannot understand. You were hidden for a season, not forgotten, but preserved. There are mantles that can only be received in solitude, and you have been carrying one. Look around you. The spiritual climate has changed. The air feels charged, heavy with anticipation. It's as though heaven itself is holding its breath. That is because angels have been assigned, timelines have been adjusted, and destiny is converging toward one date. Friday. You didn't stumble across this message by accident. Heaven orchestrated your steps so that this word could reach you right now. The same voice that called Moses from the burning bush is calling you from the burning within your soul. Every unanswered prayer, every sleepless night, every hidden tear, they have built an altar of faith before the throne of God. And now, fire is about to fall upon that altar. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. This is not poetry, it is prophecy. Your strength is being renewed even now. The weight of weariness that's been clinging to you is breaking. You are about to soar above everything that tried to keep you grounded. Heaven is equipping you for elevation. You will no longer crawl through what you were anointed to conquer. Chosen one. Divine timing has always been on your side. You have not missed your moment. You have been maturing for it. While others rushed and stumbled, you are being strengthened in the waiting. God does not promote the unprepared, and you have been in training for your triumph. The hiding was holy. It protected you from premature exposure. Now, the countdown has begun. Friday is not merely another day on the calendar. It is a spiritual appointment. It is the day heaven reveals what has been hidden. The day your private faith becomes public testimony. The tables are turning, and your name is being whispered in divine chambers. This is the moment where faith must rise higher than fear. The enemy has been trying to convince you to quit because he can sense what's coming. He knows that if you endure this final stretch, you will walk into a power you've never known. Every lie he's thrown at you was designed to distract you from the truth that breakthrough is near. But hear this, heaven does not lie. What God promised, he will perform. What he started, he will finish. You are standing on sacred ground, the intersection between prophecy and fulfillment. The waiting has not been wasted. It has been working in your favor. So lift your head, straighten your shoulders. You are walking into a divine unveiling. Friday will not just bring change, it will bring confirmation. You will see why every delay was necessary. why every tear was sacred, and why you could never give up even when you wanted to. Heaven is aligning everything for this precise moment. The Spirit of God is calling you to respond. Don't scroll past this moment. Don't dismiss the tug in your heart. Something eternal is happening in you right now. Your obedience in this instant matters more than you realize. If this word resonates with your spirit, act in faith, like this message. Share it so that another chosen one may awaken before the unveiling. And comment 444 below as a prophetic declaration that you align with heaven's timing and receive what God has prepared for Friday. You were warned in the silence, long before anyone spoke it aloud. Heaven was whispering it into your spirit. Every restless night, every moment when your heart felt heavy without reason, it was not emptiness, it was divine communication. God often speaks in silence, not because he has nothing to say, but because he wants to train your spirit to recognize his voice in the absence of noise. You thought those quiet seasons were punishment, didn't you? When prayers felt unanswered and the heavens seemed closed, you questioned if you were forgotten. Yet, that silence was your classroom. Heaven was teaching you to discern whispers instead of waiting for thunder. The delay was never denial, it was divine development. You were learning to trust what you couldn't see. Chosen one. The greatest warnings are not always spoken in words. Sometimes they come as inner unease when you try to go where you shouldn't. Sometimes they arrive as dreams you can't shake, or sudden disconnections from people who can't follow where you're going. Every closed door that confused you was actually God saying, "Not there, not now." You were being rerouted toward destiny even when you didn't realize it. You see, heaven doesn't warn those who have no future to protect. The silence you endured was evidence of heaven's investment in your calling. God does not waste stillness on the unchosen. When he hides himself, it's because he's working behind the veil, rearranging circumstances, testing your endurance, and preparing your platform. The unseen hand of God was all over your life while you thought he was absent. You didn't realize it then, but every unanswered prayer carried a hidden yes. When you asked for one thing and received another, heaven was protecting you from what looked good but wasn't God. That relationship that crumbled, that job that slipped away, that opportunity that vanished, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. If you had received what you wanted, you would have missed what you were destined for. Remember how your heart broke in the waiting, how your faith felt like it was fading with every passing day. That was when your spirit was being strengthened. Faith that is never tested cannot be trusted. God wasn't punishing you, he was proving you. He was seeing if your obedience depended on outcome or on love. The silence was a divine filter, separating the temporary from the eternal within you. It forced you to confront what you truly believe. When the noise of the world faded, only truth remained. And that truth whispered, "You are still mine." The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope and a future." Those plans didn't disappear during the quiet. They were simply growing roots. You couldn't see them. But heaven was constructing your future beneath the surface. You were being positioned, not punished. Chosen one. That is why you could never truly quit. Even in your weakest moments, something inside of you refused to die. that something was divine preservation. God's hand was guarding you, even when you wanted to give up. You thought you were barely surviving, but you were actually being sustained by grace that refused to let go. Now, as Friday draws near, every silent season begins to make sense. The patterns, the pauses, the strange timing, it all fits. Heaven was never ignoring you. It was preparing the stage for manifestation. The warnings you received were never meant to frighten you. They were meant to focus you. Every no was a shield. Every delay was an act of mercy. Look back and see the pattern. The things that ended protected your purpose. The people who left made room for alignment. The prayers that seemed unanswered were actually answered with wisdom. Nothing was wasted. The silence was sacred all along. Now you understand. What felt like absence was strategy. What looked like stillness was structure. Heaven was building something eternal inside you. Patience, strength, discernment, faith that doesn't flinch. You have learned to trust God even when He says nothing. And that kind of faith terrifies hell. You were warned in the silence because God wanted to spare you from the noise of regret. You listened when it mattered most, even when no one saw. And that is why the unfolding that approaches will not pass you by. Heaven always rewards those who stay faithful in the quiet. Now, the silence ends, and revelation begins. What was hidden in whispers will soon thunder openly. Friday carries your confirmation. You carry the mark of the misunderstood from your earliest memories. Something about you felt different, too deep for shallow conversations, too awake for those content to sleep through destiny. You have tried to explain it, to tone it down, to hide the glow that radiates from your spirit. But you cannot. That glow is not arrogance, it is assignment. It is heaven's fingerprint on your soul. People have mistaken your silence for weakness, your kindness for naivety, your endurance for indifference. They could not see that what they called too much was actually divine fire contained within fragile flesh. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. The chosen are rarely applauded. At first, they are usually misread, criticized, even rejected. The misunderstanding has been part of your molding. God allowed you to be isolated, not because you were unworthy, but because He was protecting the purity of your calling. The noise of approval can easily drown out the voice of purpose. So He removed you from crowds, stripped away validation, and forced you to find peace in His presence alone. Chosen one. Rejection was your redirection. Every time someone turned their back on you, heaven turned you toward destiny. The isolation that made you weep became the training ground for discernment. You learned to see people's spirits instead of their smiles. You learned to hear beyond words, to sense truth in atmospheres. That gift cost you your comfort, but it prepared you for authority. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Oh, you were born carrying that power, but life tried to convince you otherwise. Pain attempted to silence you. Fear tried to paralyze you, and rejection sought to redefine you. Yet here you are stronger, wiser, purified by fire. You have been misunderstood because your spirit speaks a language the world has forgotten. You were designed to disrupt patterns, to challenge atmospheres, to awaken those still asleep in comfort. That's why the battles you face feel personal. They are. The enemy does not waste warfare on the irrelevant. You carry something holy that threatens his systems of deception. Your very presence exposes falsehoods. That's why rooms grow quiet when you enter. That's why some people pull away without reason. It's not you, it's what you carry. You are a mirror the world doesn't want to look into, because your light reveals their shadows. But you must not dim yourself to make others comfortable. You are a lamp meant to stand on a hill, not hidden beneath fear. Those who misunderstood you will one day witness what they mocked, become the very thing they needed. Every lonely night you endured has been a rehearsal for revelation. Every misunderstanding built a stronger foundation beneath you. When others doubted you, heaven documented your faithfulness. You passed tests that no one even saw. The unseen victories are about to produce visible favor. Now, as the prophetic Friday approaches, the misunderstood will be magnified. What was ridiculed will be recognized. You are stepping into a season where the very traits people rejected will become the tools God uses to deliver others. Do not carry resentment toward those who didn't see your worth. Their blindness was necessary. If they had celebrated you too soon, you might have settled for applause instead of anointing. Heaven had to let you be unseen until you could handle visibility with humility. Chosen one. The misunderstanding was your protection. You were not left out, you were set apart. Every wound was a doorway to deeper wisdom. Every rejection carved space for diviner revelation. You were being shaped for influence that can't be corrupted by approval. Now you stand at the edge of divine reversal. Those who whispered will watch. Those who doubted will discern. Those who overlooked you will remember your name when heaven lifts you in due season. Comment, I am seen. And say it not as a cry for validation, but as a declaration of revelation, because heaven has seen what the world ignored. You are not invisible, you are invincible in the eyes of the one who called you. You were never overlooked, only preserved. Every hidden year was heaven's shield, guarding your anointing from contamination. Now the season of obscurity ends, and the spotlight of purpose rises. What was concealed in pain will soon shine through glory. Your visibility is not vanity, it's vindication. Heaven is about to display you as living proof that divine timing never fails. The misunderstanding was never punishment, it was prophecy preparing to be fulfilled before the eyes of those who once doubted you. Heaven's pause before the storm. This is where you find yourself now. The stillness surrounding you is not emptiness, it is anticipation. You can almost feel the air vibrating with what's about to unfold. Everything seems quiet on the outside, but spiritually, the earth is holding its breath. Angels are standing still. Heaven has stopped its movement, waiting for one thing, your readiness. This is the kind of silence that comes right before lightning splits the sky. It is that thin moment between command and manifestation. You might be wondering why nothing seems to be happening, but everything is. The pause is never wasted. God uses it to align what human eyes cannot see. In this sacred pause, distractions fall away. People who were never meant to cross into your next chapter begin to fade. Opportunities that once looked golden suddenly lose their shine. Your appetite for meaningless things begins to dry up. That's not disinterest, it's divine detachment. Heaven is pruning you, cutting away everything that can't survive the next level of glory. You may feel the weight of waiting pressing against your spirit. But understand this, the pause before the storm is mercy. If heaven released everything all at once, the blessing would break you instead of build you. The delay is protection. The quiet is calibration. The storm that's coming is not destruction, it's delivery. Remember how Jesus slept in the boat while the winds roared. The disciples saw danger, but he saw destiny. It wasn't the end of the journey. It was the moment faith was required. You are standing in that same space now. What looks like delay is simply preparation for revelation, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 8, verse 26. Why are you afraid, you of little faith? Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves. And it was completely calm. That same voice that silenced the sea still speaks over you. Your storm is not meant to drown you, it's meant to announce your authority. You have learned to survive in storms. But this time, you will learn to command them. Heaven pauses so that you can recognize your own voice in the midst of chaos. Chosen one. The reason everything feels delayed is because heaven is teaching you the rhythm of divine timing. You are learning not to panic in pauses. You are discovering the sacred power of patience. To the untrained, waiting feels like wasting. To the chosen, it feels like warfare. Every time you choose peace over panic, faith over frustration, heaven records it as obedience. There is something holy in the quiet before manifestation. It strips away illusion and forces you to look within. You begin to see where your trust truly lies. You start to understand that the voice of God isn't always thunder. Sometimes it's the whisper that holds worlds together. This is why heaven pauses, not to withhold from you, but to prepare you for what you asked for. You prayed for increase, but increase requires capacity. You prayed for promotion, but promotion demands maturity. You prayed for revelation, but revelation requires stillness. God pauses everything around you so that he can work everything within you. You are being stretched. Your faith is being enlarged. The silence is pressing you into surrender. And surrender is where the storm finds its master. The pause is producing power. When the storm breaks, you won't just witness it, you will command it. This calm before the unfolding is sacred. The enemy will try to convince you that nothing is happening, that God has forgotten, that you have missed your moment. But that's because he fears what happens when your stillness turns into spiritual authority. The one who can be still in the storm carries the storm's dominion. Chosen one. This is the pause before your unveiling. The heavens are watching. The angels are ready. The winds are waiting for one command. You don't need to force it. You just need to stay aligned. When heaven moves again, it will move through you. The pause will end soon. And when it does, everything will shift at once. The storm will not break you. It will reveal you. What you thought was the end will prove to be the beginning. The calm before the storm is not a warning, it's a promise. Heaven never pauses without purpose. When the winds rise, remember, they obey the same voice that lives in you. The pause was never punishment. It was preparation for power. The silence shaped your spirit to recognize divine rhythm. Now, when heaven moves, you will move in perfect sync, carrying authority born from stillness. The scrolls are opening. Something ancient, something written long before your birth, is beginning to unfold in this very hour. You can almost hear it, the faint sound of parchment unrolling in the realm of the unseen. It is not imagination, it is revelation. What was sealed in heaven is now being spoken over your name. Every destiny carries a scroll. It is your divine record, your assignments, your seasons. your victories written by the hand of God. For years, your scroll has been waiting in silence, covered in the dust of preparation. But heaven is calling for its unveiling now. The seals are breaking, and the words are glowing. Each letter, each promise, each instruction is being released into your reality. You may not hear it with your ears, but your spirit feels it. The dreams returning to you, the sudden clarity in your thoughts, the way your heart burns when truth is spoken, that's the evidence. Heaven is reading your scroll aloud. What you once thought was delay was actually divine timing, waiting for your faith to mature. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love him." That preparation is being revealed. The scroll is your story, written from the viewpoint of eternity. And now heaven is inviting you to walk into the chapters that have yet to be lived. Every moment of obedience unlocks a line from that scroll. Every act of faith turns another page. Chosen one. This is the beauty of divine unfolding. Nothing you've been through has been wasted. Every scar holds a sentence of strength. Every tear has become ink for testimony. Heaven writes in the language of redemption. And your story is sacred text in progress. When the scroll opens, you begin to understand why certain doors had to close, why certain people had to leave, why certain prayers had to wait. It all makes sense now. God was not withholding. He was writing. He was ensuring that when the scroll was read, it would read of triumph, not tragedy. And now, as this revelation reaches your spirit, pause for a moment. Take a breath. Realize that this message is not just being heard, it's being read over you. You are standing in the fulfillment of prophecy, living words that are finding life in your very existence. This is where gratitude becomes your weapon. When heaven releases revelation, thanksgiving keeps it flowing. Gratitude is the ink that signs your agreement with heaven's decree. If this message touched you, let your gratitude ripple outward. Like this message, it's your way of saying amen in the language of the digital world. Share it, so another searching heart might stumble upon their own scroll. Subscribe, not out of habit, but as a way of building a temple of words where heaven can keep speaking to you. And if your heart feels stirred to give, treat it as planting a seed in soil that already nourished you. Don't see it as donation. See it as rain returning to the clouds that once watered your field. Every drop you pour helps light travel further, helps the message reach another forgotten soul. Give only if peace follows your decision, because true giving is never forced, it flows. No act is small. Each gesture your like, your share. Your seed of support becomes a soft echo in eternity, whispering, keep the flame burning. Because this isn't about money, it's about movement. It's about ensuring that words like these continue to find the weary, the lost, the ready, chosen one. Heaven records even the smallest act done with love. When you choose to give light back to the flame that warmed you, heaven multiplies that warmth in your own path. The scroll has opened. The words are alive. And your response, however, gentle writes another line of grace into your story. You are not funding words, you are fueling transformation. Every act of generosity becomes a bridge for truth to cross oceans, finding hearts that need healing, reminding them that heaven still speaks through willing vessels. Your giving becomes fragrance, rising unseen yet unmistakable, filling unseen rooms with hope. Heaven takes notice of every quiet yes you release into the world. Even whispers of kindness echo loudly in eternity's chambers. One light alone flickers, but joined with others, it becomes a sunrise. Together, we illuminate valleys once drowned in despair. Your seed, your share, your faith, they weave the dawn of divine awakening. The weight of delay breaks. You can feel it in the air. Something that has lingered for too long is finally shifting. Every postponed promise, every dream that seemed to hang in the balance, begins to tremble as if it knows its waiting is over. Heaven is whispering a single word across time and space. Now, you have carried burdens that felt endless. You prayed. You waited. You believed. And then you waited again. There were moments when the silence stretched so long that you began to wonder if you had imagined the promise. Yet, even when you doubted, heaven didn't. God never cancelled what he confirmed. He only paused what wasn't yet aligned. Chosen one. Delays were never denials. They were sacred pauses where God protected what he was perfecting. The timing had to be exact, because what he's bringing forth through you is too powerful to be premature. You are not stepping into coincidence, you are stepping into convergence. Every experience, every tear, every disappointment, all of it is meeting at this divine intersection. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, in their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Now those steps begin to quicken. You will notice it in small ways. First, the way doors begin to open without your effort. The way favor finds you without introduction. The way peace begins to settle over places where anxiety once ruled. Heaven is breathing on the embers of every forgotten promise, and flames of fulfillment are rising again. Delay has weight, yes, but it also has purpose. It forges patience, strengthens faith, and teaches discernment. You learn to pray with precision instead of panic. You learn to trust without proof. You discovered that hope is not fragile, it's forged. The time of waiting was not wasted, it was working something eternal inside of you. When the Israelites stood at the edge of the Red Sea, the water didn't part until they moved forward. The delay wasn't divine cruelty, it was divine choreography. God was aligning nature itself to respond at the perfect moment. In the same way, everything concerning you has been in preparation for a synchronized release. There were seasons when you thought heaven had forgotten, but heaven was working in the dark. Your name was being spoken in rooms you've never entered. Opportunities were being preserved until your heart could handle them. You were not denied, you were being refined. Now, feel it. The breaking, the spiritual ceiling that once limited your progress is cracking. The resistance that used to hold you back begins to dissolve. It's as if unseen hands are lifting weights off your shoulders. The heaviness of waiting is giving way to the lightness of walking in divine timing. You have crossed from prophecy into manifestation. The atmosphere around you is shifting because heaven has issued a new decree. This is acceleration season, the moment when things long delayed will suddenly appear. Relationships healed, finances restored, purpose clarified. You will look back and realize that nothing was late. It all arrived exactly when you were ready. Don't be surprised if blessings begin to chase you. What once required striving will now happen by grace. The ground you thought barren is about to bloom again. You will reap where you once wept. You will sing where you once sighed. Heaven is repaying your waiting with wonder. And when it happens, remember to stay humble. Fulfillment is not the finish line, it is the starting point for stewardship. God is trusting you with what you once begged for. Guard it. Nurture it. Honor it. The speed of this next season demands wisdom. If you have felt the weight lifting while reading this, it's because your spirit recognizes truth. The old delay has expired. The waiting season is over. The divine word has shifted from wait to walk. No. Comment 555 below. Not as superstition, but as a prophetic act. 3 5s. Representing grace multiplied. By writing it, you're declaring, I'm ready for divine alignment and acceleration. You're not commanding heaven, you're agreeing with it. This number will mark the moment you stepped into your now. I, chosen one. Let it settle in your heart. Everything that has been held back is being released. The timing is no longer pending. It's present. You are standing at the doorway of delivery. And heaven is smiling because you didn't give up in the waiting. The season that once felt suspended has finally turned. Every not yet transforms into it is done. The breaking of delay is heaven's applause, affirming that your endurance has unlocked acceleration, proof that faith never dies waiting. It only deepens before fulfillment arrives. You stand between realms. It is a strange, holy place, the space where one chapter fades and another has not yet begun. You are not who you were, yet you have not fully stepped into who you are becoming. This is the in-between, the spiritual borderland where the veil thins and heaven brushes against the earth. In this place, your spirit feels both heavy and light at once. You can sense movement, but it's not visible yet. It's like standing on the shore before dawn, where darkness and light hold each other for a moment before separating forever. You are the meeting point of two worlds, flesh and spirit, time and eternity. This is where many turn back, because the in-between feels uncertain. Old patterns call out, tempting you to return to the familiar, while destiny whispers, keep walking. You can't see the full picture, but you feel the pull, and that pull is the hand of heaven leading you forward. Chosen one. The place between realms is sacred ground. It is where transformation becomes tangible. It's the cocoon stage, dark, confined, silent but inside. The impossible is taking place. Wings are forming where wounds once were. Vision is being born where confusion once lived. The tension you feel is not failure, it is formation. According to the writings in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 13, do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. That is the promise for those who stand between realms. Deliverance does not come in comfort, it comes in crossing. You are at the threshold where heaven tests your faith, not to see if you can move mountains, but to see if you will step while the ground is still invisible. Everything in this moment is about trust. Trust that what you cannot see is still certain. Trust that every silent day has been part of a divine pattern. Trust that God has not brought you this far to abandon you in the middle. The in-between is not punishment. It is proof that you are transitioning from old obedience to new authority. The truth is, crossing realms feels like loss. You will outgrow conversations, desire, even versions of yourself. The things that once fit comfortably will suddenly feel too small, too loud, too heavy. That's not confusion, it's transformation. Heaven is stretching your spirit to fit the new dimension of your calling. Sometimes you'll feel like two people, one holding yesterday, one reaching toward tomorrow. That inner tug of war will make you wonder if you're breaking, but you're not breaking. You're birthing. Every shift in the spirit comes with labor pains. But when it's done, you won't just walk differently, you'll carry differently. Chosen one, you are crossing from endurance to embodiment. You are no longer just believing for promises, you are becoming them. That's why everything around you feels unstable. Old structures can't support new glory. Heaven is rearranging everything so that your surroundings match your spirit. This place between realms also requires silence. You can't explain to everyone what's happening because language fails when describing transformation. Not everyone is meant to understand this version of you. Some will misread your stillness as distance, but it's simply focus. You're not ignoring people. You're listening to heaven. In the stillness, God reveals details, small instructions that become great outcomes. He'll nudge your spirit, whisper your next step, or pull you back from something that looks good but isn't aligned. These moments are fragile. Treat them as sacred. One act of obedience in this season carries the power to shift everything. There is beauty in this middle space. It's where dependency deepens. You no longer rely on signs, only on His presence. You no longer ask for confirmation. You walk with conviction. Heaven isn't asking you to be perfect, only to be present. Because when you stand between realms with faith, heaven begins to build bridges beneath your feet. And as those invisible bridges form, you will notice glimpses of the new world ahead, a peace that doesn't make sense, a strength that feels foreign, a joy that sneaks through confusion. These are the first rays of dawn breaking through your night. The crossing is almost complete. The tension you feel is the stretch before arrival. Soon, you will step fully into what has been waiting for you all along. Do not fear the space between. It's where the supernatural meets the surrendered, where heaven watches to see who will keep walking when sight is gone. When you finally reach the other side, you'll understand why it all had to unfold this way. The delay, the silence, the shaking, it was heaven's way of ensuring that when you stand in your new place, nothing within you still belongs to the old. The test of silence and faith. This is one of the hardest seasons a chosen one will ever walk through. It's the space where heaven seems distant, where prayers echo back, empty, where miracles you once saw with ease now feel locked behind an invisible wall. You call out, and nothing stirs. You wait, and nothing shifts. It feels as though the heavens have gone quiet. But silence is not absence. God has not withdrawn from you. He has hidden Himself within the silence to see what your heart truly believes. The teacher always grows silent during the test, not because he's left, but because he's watching what you do with what you've already learned. This is where faith ceases to be a theory and becomes breath. You are not being tested to prove weakness. You are being refined to reveal strength. Every unanswered prayer, every prolonged delay, every moment when you wonder if you misheard God, it all serves one purpose: to deepen your dependence on Him rather than on signs. When the voice of heaven quiets, your spiritual hearing sharpens. You begin to notice the subtleties, the way peace lingers after prayer, even when words fail. The way you feel, pulled to pause before making a decision. The way your tears somehow carry understanding. Heaven speaks fluently in stillness. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah. Chapter 50, verse 10. Let the one who walks in the dark, who has no light, trust in the name of the Lord and rely on their God. That verse isn't just instruction, it's invitation. The dark path is not punishment, it's a pilgrimage of trust. The ones who walk in silence are the ones who will later walk in authority because they have learned to recognize God by presence, not proof. Chosen one. When faith is tested in silence, distractions will come louder than ever. Doubt will knock daily, whispering that you've been forgotten. Fear will present logic that seems reasonable, but leads only to retreat. In those moments, stand still. You are not being forgotten, you are being fortified. Sometimes, silence is heaven's shield. If you heard too much, you might rush ahead. If you saw too far, you might turn back. God guards you with quiet, allowing only what your faith can safely hold. Trust that divine discretion. He speaks most clearly to those who can handle his hush. This test is sacred. It exposes motives, cleanses impatience, purifies love. It asks you, will you follow when there is no reward? Will you obey when there is no applause? Will you trust when everything looks uncertain? That's the essence of real faith, believing not because you see, but because you know. Faith, built in silence, becomes immovable. It's like roots growing underground, unseen, uncelebrated, yet essential. When storms come, trees with shallow roots fall, but those that dug deep in quiet remain standing. That's what this season is creating in you, a root system that no storm can uproot. Don't mistake stillness for stagnation. Beneath the surface, your spirit is expanding. Revelation is forming. Even if your emotions feel numb, the silence is training you to live by spirit, not sensation. It's teaching you that God's presence is not always loud, it's loyal. There will come a moment when the quiet breaks, when the same silence that once felt suffocating suddenly sings with understanding. You'll look back and realize that God was speaking the whole time, not in thunder, but in timing, not in shouts, but in peace. When that moment arrives, you will carry a wisdom that can't be taught, only lived. You will no longer panic when heaven pauses, because you'll recognize the rhythm of divine silence. You'll know that quiet seasons are not empty, they are pregnant with unseen miracles. In silence, faith learns to breathe on its own. Hope becomes muscle memory. Prayer shifts from request to relationship. You no longer pray for outcomes, you pray from understanding. This is what God wanted all along, not servants dependent on miracles, but sons and daughters anchored in trust. So, when it feels like nothing is happening, when every prayer seems unanswered, whisper this truth to your heart. The silence is not void, it's sacred. It's heaven's classroom, teaching you to see without sight and believe without evidence. You are not losing faith, you are learning faith's language. You are not abandoned, you are being anointed in stillness. Heaven's quiet is not rejection, it's recognition. It means you've reached a level where you no longer need constant reassurance to remain faithful. Chosen one. When the silence finally ends, you will emerge unshaken. You will speak with authority because you've heard what others could not hear. The silence that once felt like suffering will become your sanctuary, and the faith that was born there will never die. No matter how loud the storms become, hell reacts to your awakening. Every time light rises within you, darkness trembles. Every time you step closer to obedience, the kingdom of opposition stirs. You have felt it, the strange resistance that appears when you decide to move forward, the sudden chaos that erupts when you choose peace. It isn't coincidence. It's confirmation that you are advancing. Darkness fears awareness. It prefers you asleep, numb, and distracted. But the moment you awaken to who you are, you become a threat. The enemy's strategy has never been to destroy your destiny. It has been to delay your discovery of it. Because once you know who you are, nothing can stop what you carry. Chosen one. You've been noticing it lately. Unusual pressure, random misunderstandings, unexpected weariness. You've felt your peace shaken without reason. But all of it is spiritual reaction. Hell has recognized your shift before you have. Your awakening has altered atmospheres. What was once dormant in you has begun to burn again. And darkness can't stand the heat. It was proclaimed in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 37. In all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. That is the posture of the awakened. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from it. The war was won long ago, but every generation must awaken to that truth anew. The enemy's power lies only in deception. The moment you stop believing the lie, his hold dissolves. Hell reacts to obedience the way darkness reacts to dawn. It panics. It scrambles to distract, to confuse, to drain your energy. It throws familiar chaos your way, hoping you'll confuse it for failure. But understand this, resistance is proof of relevance. If you were not carrying something precious, darkness wouldn't bother you. Your awakening exposes systems that thrived on your silence. That's why people may suddenly shift around you. That's why spiritual battles intensify right when you feel closest to breakthrough. You are no longer reacting to darkness, you are commanding it. The authority that once felt distant is now being activated through your words, your worship, your walk. You don't need to shout to shake the unseen. Your very presence, aligned with heaven, carries frequency. The enemy recognizes it, even if you don't. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, light expands. Every time you choose truth over comfort, the kingdom of lies weakens. You have become a walking contradiction to darkness, a living testimony that grace still works. But with awakening comes responsibility. The more light you carry, the more discipline heaven expects. Stay rooted. Stay humble. Awareness without alignment can become pride. And pride turns light into lightning, beautiful for a moment, gone in an instant. The true awakened walk softly, knowing heaven watches their every step. Remember, hell's noise doesn't mean heaven's absence. Storms often rise right before calm, because the atmosphere must shift to accommodate glory. The turbulence you feel is not punishment, it's prophetic pressure. It's heaven stretching you for expansion. Every time the enemy pushes, heaven pulls. The warfare you sense is not random, it's a signal that something inside you has been activated. You've outgrown the old spiritual armor, and the new one is being fitted. The battle is not external, it's internal alignment preparing for external authority. So, when chaos comes, don't panic. Smile quietly. It's a sign that you've been noticed, not by people, but by realms. You are now visible to heaven and hell alike, and both know you've crossed a line you can never uncross. You've awakened. You won't sleep again. Stand firm. Speak truth, even when your voice shakes. Keep your peace, even when storms rage. For the awakened, calm is a weapon. The enemy doesn't know what to do with someone who refuses to fear. Comment, I stand firm. OP, write it as your declaration short. Unshaken, final. Let those 3 words mark your stance in the unseen. Because this is not a moment of weakness, it is a moment of establishment. You are no longer surviving, you are standing, you are awake. And darkness knows it. The words, I stand firm, are more than a comment, they're a covenant. When you declare them, you're aligning your spirit with heaven's authority, sealing your ground so darkness cannot reclaim it. Standing firm doesn't mean standing still. It means refusing to retreat, even when fear knocks. It's the posture of quiet strength, the kind that shakes realms without shouting, the kind that makes hell hesitate before approaching again. You are no longer reactive, you are radiant. Your faith has become your fortress. Every breath you take is defiance against despair. Remember, those who stand firm in light cannot be swallowed by shadow. The prophetic Friday approaches. The air feels different, charged, almost trembling. You can sense it without being told. Something sacred is about to unfold. It's as though creation itself is leaning forward, waiting for the divine countdown to strike 0. The world keeps spinning in routine. Yet your spirit knows this is no ordinary week. Heaven's calendar has circled this day in light. You've felt it in your bones. Every sunrise seems to whisper, closer. Every night feels heavier with anticipation. The rhythm of your heart has synchronized with something eternal. You might not have language for it, but heaven recognizes it, the readiness of a chosen one standing on the edge of fulfillment. When heaven draws near, the air shifts. Ordinary things begin to carry extraordinary meaning. A song, a passing word, a sudden stillness, all become messengers. Even time feels slower, as though creation itself is pausing for what's coming. This is what happens when prophecy nears performance. It was spoken in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the revelation awaits an appointed time, though it linger. Wait for it. It will surely come, and not delay. Chosen one, this is your appointed time. Friday is not a coincidence, it's a covenant. What you've prayed for, fasted for, cried for, it's been traveling toward you, and now it stands at your threshold. This is the intersection where endurance meets evidence, where promises stop being words and start becoming worlds. But as the day draws near, your posture matters. Heaven doesn't respond to noise, it responds to faith. Keep your heart still, your hands open, and your spirit humble. When the promise appears, it won't need you to chase it. It will recognize your obedience and come find you. Now pause and breathe. Let gratitude rise within you. You are standing in a moment prophets once longed to see. Every struggle, every setback, every lonely night was shaping you for this unveiling. You are proof that waiting with faith is never wasted time. And if this message reaches you deeply, if something inside you stirs, as if remembering an old promise, then let your gratitude flow naturally. Like this message, not as habit, but as honor. Each press of that small icon is like lighting a candle in agreement, saying silently, I receive what heaven is preparing. I'll share this message with someone who may be standing at their own threshold, unsure of what's next. You never know, their Friday might depend on your obedience. When you share light, it never leaves you dimmer, it multiplies. And if your spirit feels drawn to do more, listen closely, not to pressure, but to peace. Subscribe, not just to a channel, but to a flow of divine words meant to keep your flame burning when life's winds blow strong. Let this space become a small altar you return to, a quiet digital sanctuary where heaven's voice still speaks. And for those who feel an extra tug in the heart, if you are led to give, treat it as pouring oil into the lamp that lights countless others. You are not funding words, you're fueling warmth. Every small gift is a drop of oil, keeping the flame steady through the night. Think of it this way, the same way a traveler leaves water for those who follow the desert path. Your giving leaves sustenance for another soul still wandering. It's never an obligation, it's a ripple of kindness that outlives the moment. True generosity is not forced, it flows from gratitude, not guilt. Your contribution, whether a seed of kindness, a like, a prayer, or a gift, becomes a bridge between this word and the next weary heart that needs it. You may never meet the person it reaches, but heaven will connect the two of you forever in its records. Chosen one. The prophetic Friday will not just reveal what God can do, it will reveal who you've become. You have changed quietly, deeply, beautifully. Heaven sees it, and soon the world will too. So stand in awe, not anxiety. Let peace settle over your chest. The day that carries your promise is approaching, and you are ready. This is the moment before dawn breaks, the hush before the song begins. And as you wait, hold this truth close. What's meant for you cannot pass you by. The same hands that wrote your promise are the ones guiding it home. If this word has spoken to your soul, let your heart respond however it wishes, through a share, a quiet prayer, or a gentle act of giving. Each response is a petal offered to heaven's garden, and heaven always remembers the hands that sow beauty. When the sun rises on Friday, something in you will rise too. The unfolding begins not outside of you, but within. You will see it, feel it, and know it was always leading here. The separation of the called and the casual, it always happens before divine fulfillment. It's subtle at first, like morning fog thinning as the sun rises. People who once walked beside you begin to drift. Conversations that once fed your soul now feel hollow. And what used to excite you suddenly feels too small for where your spirit is headed. This is not loss, it's sorting. Heaven is dividing paths. There comes a moment in every divine story when proximity no longer equals purpose. Some were meant to walk with you for a season, not a lifetime. They helped you build foundation, but they cannot walk with you into the revelation. You are crossing into sacred territory where only those aligned by spirit, not sentiment, can remain. This separation is not cruelty, it's clarity. Heaven does not subtract to wound you, it refines to reveal you. Just as gold is separated from impurities through fire, you are being purified through relationships that cannot withstand the heat of destiny. The distance you feel is not rejection, it's revelation. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, Chapter 7, verse 20. By their fruit you will recognize them. La, you are entering a season where fruit reveals everything. Words no longer impress you. Results do. Energy speaks louder than intention. Your discernment is sharper now, and heaven trusts you to see truth without explanation. You no longer need to justify what your spirit already knows. The called and the casual often look the same in calm seasons, but storms expose their difference. The casual fade when the cost rises. The called grow stronger. Casual faith seeks comfort. Called faith seeks purpose. You've lived long enough among the casual to recognize that their rhythm no longer matches yours. You move by conviction, not convenience. This moment is bittersweet. You will have to release some things you still love. Familiar patterns, comfortable environments, and even good people may have to stay behind, but obedience will demand it. Because what's ahead is too weighty to carry unnecessary attachments. You cannot walk into promised ground while holding hands with indecision. Heaven's separations are surgical, precise, purposeful, painful. Yet, in every divine cut, there is healing. God removes only what hinders your breath. He allows discomfort so that you will not settle in spaces too small for your calling. Some goodbyes will not come with closure, but they will come with peace, and peace is the signature of divine separation. Chosen one, do not chase what God has released. Let go with grace. What was holy for one season can become heavy in the next. The same net that caught fish can later entangle your feet if you don't learn when to drop it. When heaven calls, it always requires empty hands. This separation is also inward. It's not only about people, it's about patterns. Heaven is separating your old self from your new one. Habits that once helped you survive now interfere with your growth. The thoughts that kept you safe in storms now limit your faith in sunlight. You are shedding layers, identities, and fears that no longer fit. You may wake up feeling unfamiliar even to yourself, and that's the sign you're evolving. Your spirit is stretching into places your mind hasn't yet mapped. The old insecurities, the need to explain yourself, the craving for approval, they are falling away. Heaven is whispering. You do not need to be understood to be anointed. Now, the path of the called narrows as it ascends. Fewer voice, clear vision, fewer companions, deeper communion. You are being invited into intimacy with purpose, a relationship so direct that distractions can no longer survive near it. This is what Friday will reveal. When the prophecy unfolds, the difference between those who were merely curious and those who were truly committed will become undeniable. The casual will marvel, the called will manifest. Heaven will make visible what has been invisible all along the separation of spectators from soldiers. And when it happens, don't boast, don't gloat, stand with humility, for you were not chosen because of perfection, but because of perseverance. You simply refused to stop when others did. The oil of destiny rests upon those who keep walking when comfort ends. The separation hurts, but it is holy. It's not meant to isolate you, it's meant to identify you. You are being marked, not as better, but as trusted. Heaven is saying, I can build on you. No, when Friday dawns, you will stand lighter, clearer, freer. The noise of the casual will fade, and the clarity of calling will fill the silence. This is how heaven promotes, through pruning, so let it happen. Let heaven draw the line. What leaves now was never meant to stay. The separation is not the end of connection, it's the beginning of consecration. You are being set apart, not set aside. The anointing of acceleration, this is the divine quickening that comes after long waiting. You've endured the slow seasons, where progress felt invisible and prayers seemed unanswered. You've walked faithfully through silence and separation. But now, the tempo of heaven changes. Suddenly, what took years begins to unfold in days. Things that once resisted you begin to open effortlessly. This is not luck, it is alignment. Heaven has turned the page. Acceleration doesn't feel like chaos, it feels like clarity. The fog lifts, and suddenly, you can see why it all took so long. God wasn't delaying you, He was developing you. He was stretching your capacity, deepening your roots, and refining your motives so that when acceleration arrived, you wouldn't crumble under its weight. It is written in the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 13, "The days are coming, declares the Lord, when the reaper will be overtaken by the plowman and the planter by the one treading grapes." This is what divine acceleration looks like: harvest overtaking seed time, answered prayers catching up to faith, blessing arriving before you even finish asking. It's not because you've done everything right, but because heaven's timing has ripened. Chosen one. When the anointing of acceleration falls, it doesn't just change your pace, it changes your posture. You stop striving and start flowing. You stop forcing outcomes and start watching divine alignment unfold naturally. Things that once required endless effort suddenly feel weightless. Conversations happen at the right time. People cross your path without coincidence. And opportunities that once seemed locked begin to invite you in. But remember this: acceleration is not permission to rush. It is an invitation to synchronize with heaven's rhythm. The car may be faster, but the driver is still the same. Don't confuse divine speed with human haste. The first is power, the second is panic. Stay steady. Even when everything moves quickly, heaven's acceleration is never random. It's targeted. It moves in the direction of your obedience. Every act of faith you sowed in tears has been gathering momentum. And now it returns multiplied. Your yes has finally collided with God's timing. In this season, pay attention. You will notice divine coincidences that feel almost too perfect calls at the right moment. Doors opening without knocking. Provision arriving before the need appears. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. You are walking in pre-written paths. Acceleration also exposes what cannot keep up. Some relationships, habits, or thoughts will lag behind, unable to match your new rhythm. Don't slow down to carry what heaven has released. Move forward in grace, not guilt. What's meant for you will never require you to shrink. This anointing will not just change your environment, it will transform your identity. You will begin to see yourself differently. You'll walk with quiet authority. Speak with confidence that surprises even you, and sense a deeper peace that makes rushing unnecessary. That's what it feels like when grace overtakes grind. You will notice that time itself begins to obey you. Projects that once dragged will finish ahead of schedule. Healing that seemed impossible will happen suddenly. Doors that were locked by delay will swing open as if they were waiting for this precise hour. Heaven's timing never arrives late, It simply waits for obedience to align with readiness. This is that moment. You've endured the slowness of preparation. Now you will taste the sweetness of fulfillment. Everything that felt like not yet will now echo as right now. And when it happens, remember, it's not because of your power, but because of His promise, chosen one. This acceleration is heaven's way of rewarding your endurance. You stayed faithful when nothing made sense. You held hope when logic told you to quit. And now, the speed of grace is catching you up to everything you thought you'd missed. Comment 333 below. Let it be your declaration that you align with heaven's rhythm, 3 threes, representing divine completeness and the unbroken flow between Father, Son, and Spirit. When you write it, you're not summoning blessings, you're signaling agreement. You're saying, I move when heaven moves. You will soon look around and realize that the things that once felt impossible are now unfolding naturally. You will not chase blessings, will chase you. You will not strive doors, will swing open in sync with your steps. This is what acceleration feels like, not pressure, but peace moving fast. The same God who walked with you through delay is now propelling you through destiny. Stay humble. Stay steady. Move with gratitude. Because once heaven accelerates, you will understand what felt like waiting was never wasted time. It was divine preparation for this unstoppable momentum. You carry the Friday fire. It burns quietly at first, like a small flame hidden beneath ashes, but it cannot stay concealed. Every test, every tear, every moment of obedience has been feeding this fire. What once felt like exhaustion was actually ignition. Heaven has been striking flint against your faith. Preparing to release the spark of purpose, you now feel stirring deep inside. Fire is both beauty and danger. It warms and purifies, but it also consumes everything unfit to remain. That is what's happening within you. The Friday fire is not meant to destroy who you are. It's meant to refine who you were. Every limitation that once chained your confidence, every fear that muted your voice, is now being burned away. You are standing in the holy glow of transformation. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus. Chapter 3, verse 2. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. That same paradox lives in you. You are burning but not consumed. You are walking through intensity that should have broken you. Yet you are still standing, still shining. This is what happens when divine fire meets a willing vessel. It purifies without destroying. The Friday fire is not random, it is recognition. Heaven only sets aflame what it intends to send forth. The fire comes to awaken dormant gifts, to melt the walls that once kept your purpose contained. What you carry cannot remain hidden any longer. The same spirit that set Moses ablaze with calling is now setting your inner world alight with clarity. Fire brings revelation. In its glow, truth becomes undeniable. You start to see who you are, not through the eyes of fear, but through the vision of faith. Old labels burn away. Old mistakes lose their sting. You begin to realize that what was meant to destroy you has only deepened your anointing. Chosen one. This fire does not ask permission. It arrives suddenly. When your heart is ready, but your mind still feels uncertain, it burns away excuses. It refines motives. It ignites conviction so strong that you can no longer tolerate what used to tempt you. That's how you know it's holy. You're no longer comfortable where compromise lives. The fire also separates purpose from preference. You begin to want different things, not because you've become cold, but because you've become consecrated. You find yourself yearning for meaning instead of noise, depth instead of distraction. The things that once entertained you now exhaust you, because your spirit has changed frequencies. Heaven has turned the dial higher, and lesser sounds can no longer hold your attention. You are being shaped into flame, light in motion. Every word you speak, every step you take, begins to carry warmth that melts despair around you. People may not understand it, but they will feel it. You will notice that broken hearts open around you more easily, not because of who you are, but because of what burns within you. But fire also demands stewardship. It needs fuel and focus. Neglect it, and it flickers. Feed it carelessly, and it consumes. So guard your atmosphere. Protect your peace. The Friday fire must burn clean, free from gossip, bitterness, or pride. Only humility can hold holy flame. You might feel weary under its heat, wondering if it will ever relent. It won't, because this is not punishment, it's purpose. The fire doesn't fade, it transforms. Once it's done its work, it will steady into an inner glow, permanent, powerful, peaceful. It will become the quiet confidence that guides you through every future storm. Soon, others will sense it too. They'll look at you and not understand how you carry such calm in chaos, such light in heavy places. They won't know that you were forged in fire, that your peace was purchased in pain. They'll simply feel the warmth and call it grace. Chosen one. This fire is your identity now. It's the mark of those heaven trusts. You are no longer waiting for permission to shine. You are the permission. Wherever you go, light follows. Wherever you speak, hearts thaw. That's what it means to carry the Friday fire. You no longer chase flames, you become them. The fire within you will never fade, it will mature. What once blazed wildly will now burn steadily, guiding others through darkness with the same light that once saved you. Every spark you release becomes a signal to heaven. I'm still burning, still believing. The Friday fire doesn't end with you. It multiplies through every life you touch. Heaven confirms your alignment. It begins quietly, like a soft vibration in the soul. You start noticing little things, numbers that repeat, words that echo, faces that appear at the exact moment you think of them. The world around you hasn't changed much, but your awareness has. The once ordinary becomes a symphony of divine timing. This is how heaven speaks when you've aligned yourself with its rhythm. Signs stop being coincidences. They become confirmations. You no longer beg for proof because the evidence lives in the flow. Every step you take feels guided, as if invisible hands are arranging your path, one detail at a time. You are no longer striving, you are being carried. Heaven's alignment is subtle, but certain. It doesn't come with fanfare, it comes with familiarity. Peace becomes your compass. Opportunities fit without force. People arrive without manipulation. You don't have to fight for what's yours, because what's truly yours carries your frequency. The moment you step into divine synchronization, everything begins to harmonize with purpose, as it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. That ordering is what you are feeling now. You may not understand every twist, but you recognize the design. Even detours begin to make sense. You see how past disappointments were redirections, how heartbreaks became highways toward healing. Heaven wastes nothing. Everything you endured is being folded into alignment. Alignment doesn't remove struggle, it redeems it. You'll still encounter challenges, but you'll start to see purpose woven into each one. What used to frustrate you now fuels you. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you whisper, "What is this shaping in me?" That shift in perspective is alignment in motion. When heaven confirms your steps, even resistance becomes revelation. Closed doors stop feeling like punishment and start feeling like protection. You stop chasing things that no longer belong to your journey. You realize that what's meant for you will never require constant anxiety to sustain. The calm that follows this awareness is not complacency, it's confidence rooted in trust. Chosen one. You have spent years trying to make sense of patterns you didn't recognize. But now, your spiritual eyesight has cleared. You can see divine fingerprints where you once saw chaos. You can sense orchestration where you once felt randomness. Alignment has opened your inner vision. And what was once confusing now feels holy. Heaven's confirmations are not always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet reassurance in your heart that says, "You're on the right path." Sometimes it's the timing of a conversation that breaks a chain of doubt. Other times, it's the peace that refuses to leave, even when logic can't explain it. Divine alignment doesn't need to be announced. It reveals itself through stillness. When your will and God's will begin to flow together, the external world starts to mirror your internal obedience. You become a vessel of divine timing, a living testament that surrender is stronger than striving. This is where many miss it. They mistake waiting for stagnation. But alignment often requires standing still until heaven catches your step. You can't run ahead of what's being synchronized. True power is not found in motion, but in harmony. It's better to be still in the right rhythm than to rush in the wrong one. And so heaven begins confirming what you once doubted. Relationships stabilize. Finances balance. Doors open that no one can explain. Peace deepens in places where fear once ruled. You are not imagining it. This is what it feels like when destiny and obedience walk side by side. Still, alignment carries responsibility. The closer you are to heaven's rhythm, the more sensitive you become to dissonance. The slightest compromise feels louder now. The tiniest distraction echoes. That's not pressure, it's purity. Heaven is teaching you to protect what took years to build. Chosen one. Remember, confirmation is not the finish line, it's the continuation of trust. God doesn't align you to make you comfortable. He aligns you so He can accelerate His purpose through you. The peace you feel now is not retirement, it's readiness. Heaven confirms alignment, not only with signs, but with transformation. You are no longer reactive, you are reflective. The storms that once terrified you now remind you that you are anchored. You don't chase alignment anymore. You are alignment. Your life has become evidence that surrender works. So, walk with quiet assurance. You don't need to announce what heaven has already confirmed. Let your peace preach. Let your obedience testify. The same God who aligned stars in galaxies has aligned your steps on earth. You are where you are meant to be. The Friday unfolding it begins softly. You almost miss it at first. The sky looks ordinary, yet something feels different in the air. The heaviness that once clung to your chest starts to lift, replaced by an inexplicable calm. You can't explain it, but your spirit recognizes it. The fulfillment has begun. Everything you've waited for, prayed for, carried in faith, it starts to take form. The unseen begins to show itself. Promises that once seemed distant now breathe in front of you, living and tangible. Heaven's handwriting becomes visible in your life, not as spectacle, but as serenity. You've reached the moment where waiting turns into witnessing. The Friday unfolding is not about dramatic signs in the sky. It's about recognition in the soul. It's when you realize that what you've been asking for has been quietly building around you all along. The foundation of faith has finally met the structure of manifestation. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Your light has come. But notice, glory doesn't arrive shouting. It enters softly, like dawn after endless shadow. This light touches everything differently. Relationships begin to heal. Peace replaces panic. Strength returns to your steps. The change doesn't demand attention. It simply transforms you from the inside out. Chosen one. The unfolding doesn't always announce itself with thunder. Sometimes it looks like an unexpected message that feels like an answer. Sometimes it's the courage to forgive, the clarity to let go, or the whisper that says, "You're finally free." These are the petals of fulfillment falling gently at your feet. In this moment, let gratitude flow like water over stone. Don't rush to analyze, just receive. Heaven's timing has met your endurance, and the result is grace made visible. Like this message, not as obligation, but as acknowledgement, like lighting a lantern after the rain. It's your quiet way of saying, "I see the light, and it's beautiful." And share this message with someone whose horizon still feels dim. It's like handing them a small flame from your torch, gentle, warm, voluntary. Light never loses by being given. Comment, "My light rises." Write it as a vow, not a slogan. It's a poetic offering that says, "I choose to stand in what has already dawned." And if your spirit feels drawn to remain in this flow, subscribe, not for updates, but for stillness. Let this place become a small sanctuary where your spirit can rest when the world grows loud again. And if your heart feels a quiet tug to give, let it be the act of planting a candle in a dark valley. You are not paying for words, you are fueling warmth. Every drop you pour becomes another light along the road for those still searching their way home. There's no requirement, only resonance. True generosity breathes, it never begs. You give because gratitude asks for expression, not approval. The gift itself becomes part of the unfolding, a soft echo of thankfulness released into eternity. Each gesture your like, your share, your comment, your seed becomes a petal in heaven's garden. Together, they bloom into fragrance, unseen but unforgettable, reminding the weary that beauty still grows in silent soil. Chosen one. This Friday unfolding is not the end, it is evidence. You are living proof that hope outlasts hardship, that divine timing never fails. You were never waiting for the light, you were becoming it. When the sun rises this Friday, you will understand it wasn't just a day unfolding. It was you. You are the unfolding. The living sunrise that testifies darkness was never final. Every shadow you walked through only proved how deeply light can live inside a willing heart. Heaven did not choose you to be perfect. It chose you to be present. Every scar, every silence, every surrender was a sentence in a divine poem. Now, read aloud through your life. When you breathe now, the world feels it. Your peace carries soundless sermons. Your resilience paints unseen murals. You have become the quiet miracle someone once prayed to witness. So walk gently into your dawn. Don't rush the glow. Let it spread naturally. The story that began in ashes now burns with color. And the heavens whisper your name as one who rose when rising seemed impossible. The horizon ahead is wide and waiting. Every step you take from here writes new light across the sky. Proof that promise fulfilled becomes promise extended. Carry this peace forward. Let your quiet radiance remind the world that endings are only beginnings wearing new names. And light never forgets where it first dawned. After the unveiling, everything feels different, quiet, weightless, sacred. The noise that once surrounded your thoughts has softened, replaced by a deep awareness that something irreversible has occurred. You've crossed a line, stepped through a door that will not close. The unfolding of Friday was not simply an event outside you, it was a transformation within. There's a stillness after revelation that only the awakened can understand. It is not the stillness of emptiness, but of arrival, the kind of peace that follows surrender. You no longer feel the need to chase what's already yours. The striving that once kept you restless now feels unnecessary, even foreign. You are beginning to understand that fulfillment doesn't shout, it settles. In the days that follow, the world will look the same, yet nothing will feel the same. You will walk through familiar streets, but your spirit will move differently, lighter, freer, anchored in clarity. You will begin to notice beauty where your eyes once saw only pressure. The sky will seem wider, conversation deeper, silence safer. Heaven has changed your inner posture, and now the outer world mirrors it back. We find in the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." This is the promise that now rests over you. The work is not finished, but it is unstoppable. The same hand that began your transformation will sustain it. You are not required to force progress. You are called to flow with it. The momentum of heaven is already moving through your life, ensuring that every seed planted in faith will reach its full bloom. The unveiling was never meant to end your journey. It was meant to reveal your readiness for the next one. What was once hidden has been brought into light, so it can now serve its purpose. Every skill, every scar, every story you carry is now material for ministry, whether in word, in kindness, or in quiet presence. The transformation was not for spectacle, it was for service. This is where the mature walk begins. You no longer live by signs and wonders, you live by certainty. Your faith no longer depends on constant reassurance. Because revelation has made you confident in God's process, you've seen enough to trust without seeing. You've walked through delay and stillness, through battle and breakthrough. And now your faith has matured into something that no longer shakes easily. The afterglow of unveiling is gentle but powerful. You might notice unexpected tears, not from pain, but from recognition, the quiet knowing that you are finally in rhythm with your divine design. You are not trying to be chosen anymore. You are living as one who knows they already are. That realization changes everything. Chosen one. This season, after unveiling, teaches you the art of carrying peace into motion. It's not the mountaintop moment that defines you, but how you walk once you descend. You are called to carry the sacred into the ordinary, to bring the light of revelation into daily tasks and relationships. The real glory is not found in divine moments alone, but in how those moments transform your humanity. You will still face challenges. The world doesn't suddenly become simple because your spirit has matured, but the difference now is your awareness. You no longer confuse conflict with defeat, nor silence with absence. You've learned that God's hand can guide through chaos as gently as through calm, and so you walk, not rushed, not hesitant, but balanced. Every breath feels deliberate, every step significant. You are living proof that the unseen world is real, that faith not only survives storms, but shapes them into testimonies. This is the sacred aftermath, the moment when miracles move from being stories you hear to truths you embody. You will notice people drawn to your calm, your clarity, your quiet confidence. They won't always understand it, but they will feel it. And in feeling it, they'll sense heaven. The unveiling has made you a carrier of peace, a vessel of divine steadiness. The same fire that once refined you now glows as warmth for others. You don't need to explain it. Simply being is enough. The world will see through you what it means to be transformed without spectacle, changed deeply, gently, eternally. You are no longer waiting for signs. You have become one. Every quiet step you take now carries evidence that heaven finishes everything it begins. Walk forward with calm conviction. The work continues, invisible yet inevitable. And each heartbeat whispers the same truth: transformation, once started, never returns unfinished. Crowned in the afterglow, that is where you now stand. The light that once blinded you with revelation has softened into warmth, resting gently upon your shoulders like a mantle. It is not the glitter of fame, nor the noise of recognition. It is quiet authority, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself to be known. Heaven has placed a crown upon your endurance. This crown isn't made of gold or jewels. It's woven from moments of surrender, from prayers whispered in darkness, from battles fought in silence. Every scar on your heart has been turned into a thread of light, interlaced by divine hands until it formed something eternal. You wear it not for display, but for remembrance, a sign of what grace can build from ashes. The crown of the chosen is weightless yet powerful. It carries the memory of every fall and the gratitude of every rising. It's not a reward for perfection, it's a recognition of perseverance. God does not crown the flawless, He crowns the faithful. You are being honored, not because you never doubted, but because you never quit. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 21, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness." No, that happiness is not fleeting joy, it's the peace of completion. You have reached a point where the striving stops and the serving begins. The journey has transformed you into someone who can carry responsibility with grace, who can lead without ego, who can shine without burning out. Chosen one. The crown doesn't lift you above others. It roots you deeper into purpose. Those who wear heaven's crown understand that true royalty is service. You've been elevated, not to dominate, but to demonstrate what divine love looks like in human form. You have become both vessel and voice, carrying the echo of heaven into the quiet corners of the world. After the unveiling, after the fire, after the unfolding, this is where the story settles into peace, into maturity, into holy confidence. You no longer seek to prove your worth, you live from it. The crown reminds you daily that you were chosen long before you knew your own name. Your perspective has changed. Where once you saw obstacles, you now see opportunities for grace. Where once you sought miracles, you now become them. You understand that heaven's greatest works often happen through ordinary hands moving with extraordinary love. That's the true majesty of this moment. It turns life itself into a form of worship. The crown also carries responsibility. It asks you to remain humble when praised and hopeful when overlooked. It reminds you that power without compassion becomes noise, but compassion with purpose becomes transformation. Wear it gently. Let it remind you of who you are when the world forgets what it means to be kind. You have walked through every realm, waiting, silence, revelation, separation, and fire, and you've emerged refined, not ruined. Every stage was necessary. Every delay was divine. And now, heaven marks you as one of its steady ones, the kind who bend but do not break, who shine without boasting. This crown doesn't make you more important, it makes you more aware. You see now with eternal eyes. You understand that your story was never just about you, it was about what heaven could do through you. Your obedience became someone else's breakthrough. Your endurance became another soul's encouragement. That is how the divine weaves destinies together. There is peace in this realization. You no longer carry urgency, only readiness. The future doesn't intimidate you, it invites you. You have learned to trust the unfolding, to rest in the rhythm of heaven's timing. The same hands that crowned you will continue to guide you. Chosen one. This is the afterglow of glory. It's soft, sustaining, sacred. You are no longer just walking toward promise. You are walking as the promise fulfilled. Your very existence has become evidence that God finishes what He begins. That light never loses to darkness, and that crowns are forged in the quiet, not the crowd. Stand tall, not for pride, but for purpose. The journey doesn't end here, it evolves. The crown isn't the final reward, it's the beginning of new responsibility. Heaven doesn't end stories, it expands them. You have been prepared, purified, and positioned. Now you live not for arrival, but for impact. This is the completion of one cycle and the beginning of another. You have been crowned, not to rest, but to reign not over others, but over yourself, over fear, over doubt. You are proof that those who remain faithful through fire emerge carrying light that never fades. The story settles here, but the light continues. What has been spoken into your spirit doesn't end. When the words do, it begins now. In the silence that follows, heaven has moved, and your heart has answered. You have crossed, endured, burned, Risen. And now you shine. The crown is not the finish line. It's the permission to walk freely into everything still waiting for you. And if something in these words has reached your soul, let gratitude be your response. Like this message, not for numbers, but as an act of quiet agreement, like lighting one last candle before leaving a holy place. Each small flame of acknowledgement tells heaven, I heard you. When share this message with someone standing between hope and hesitation. It's a way of handing them a lantern without words, letting them know that dawn still exists beyond their current night. Before you leave, comment something simple, perhaps a single word or phrase that mirrors your heart. Think of it as dropping a small stone into still water. The ripples carry far beyond what the eye can see. If your spirit finds peace here, subscribe, not out of habit, but as an open door, a place where you can return when the world feels heavy and stillness calls your name again. And if you ever feel led to give, let it be like watering a tree that once shaded you. You're not repaying anything. You're sustaining the roots that allow others to find rest beneath the same branches. Every gift, no matter how small, becomes part of the ongoing light. So breathe, rest, carry what you've received into tomorrow. You are living proof that divine stories never truly end. They unfold quietly and beautifully through those who choose to keep the flame alive.